Picture this. You're sitting in your car. It's Sunday evening. The sky is that particular shade of gray that feels like it's pressing down on you. You've got maybe 30 minutes before you have to go back inside, back to the routine, back to the life you've built, that somehow doesn't feel like yours. And you're scrolling, always scrolling, looking at people who seem to have figured it out. The entrepreneur on his yacht, the fitness guy with abs and discipline, the traveler in Bali with no regrets. And you feel that familiar knot in your chest, that mixture of envy and exhaustion, and something else, something darker, resignation. You tell yourself the same story you've been telling yourself for years now. I just need to get through this quarter, once I save enough money, when the kids are older, after I finish this project. The goal keeps moving, doesn't it? My friend, let me tell you something that's gonna sting. You've been lied to about why you're stuck, not by any one person, not by some shadowy conspiracy, but by the entire architecture of modern existence. You are told that success is a destination, that happiness is a milestone, that fulfillment comes from achievement, from acquisition, from external validation. So you chased it. You got the degree. Didn't fix it. You got the job. Didn't fix it. You got the relationship, the apartment, the car, the promotion. And each time, there was that brief hit of satisfaction. Maybe a week, maybe a month before you were right back here. Empty. Stuck. Waiting for the next thing that's going to finally be the thing. Here's the betrayal. Those goals were never yours to begin with. They were installed in you. Programmed. Downloaded like software from parents who were running someone else's program. From schools designed to create compliant workers. From a culture that profits from your perpetual dissatisfaction. You've been climbing a ladder, brother. Working hard. Sacrificing. Delaying gratification. And you never stopped to ask the question that would have saved you years of your life. Is this ladder even against the right wall?
I've seen this pattern destroy men, good men, capable men, men who had everything they needed to build an extraordinary life, who instead built a comfortable prison and called it success.
The cruelest part? You know something's wrong. You've known for years. That voice in your head at 2 a.m., the one you silence with another episode, another drink, another distraction. That voice is telling you the truth. You're not living. You're managing. You're not building anything real. You're maintaining. You're not stuck because life trapped you there. You're stuck because on some level you chose this. And that choice is killing you slowly. One Sunday evening at a time. Chapter 2. The biological truth. Now, before you close this video and go back to scrolling, understand something. This isn't your fault. Not entirely. Your brain is hardwired for this trap. Evolution designed you for a world that no longer exists, and that mismatch is destroying your ability to feel satisfied, motivated, or alive. Let me explain. Your ancestors, the men who survived long enough to pass on their genes to you, they lived in a world of immediate feedback. Hunt successfully, eat tonight, fail, starve, see a threat, fight or run, win the battle, survive. The dopamine system in your brain evolved as a motivation and learning mechanism for that environment. Do hard thing, get immediate reward. Brain releases dopamine. You feel good, pattern reinforced. This system is brilliant for survival in a world of clear, immediate challenges. It's catastrophic in the modern world because now, the hard thing you do today might pay off in 5 years, or never. The threat isn't a predator you can see and fight. It's chronic stress, financial insecurity, existential dread. Your brain's reward system is like a high-performance engine trying to run on the wrong fuel. Here's what happens neurologically. You set a big goal. Your brain gets a small hit of dopamine from the fantasy of achievement. That feels good, so you keep fantasizing instead of doing. When you do take action, it's hard, uncomfortable, and there's no immediate reward. So your brain labels it as wrong and pushes you back toward familiar, easy behaviors that generate quick dopamine hits. Social media, pornography, junk food, video games, shopping, alcohol. All of these hack your dopamine system with minimal effort and maximum speed. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between the dopamine hit from scrolling Instagram and the dopamine hit from genuine achievement. Except one requires years of effort and discomfort, and the other requires a thumb. Which one do you think your biology is going to choose? But it gets worse. There's a second biological mechanism destroying you. The hedonic treadmill. Your brain adapts to everything. It's designed to. In the ancestral environment, this was survival. If you killed a large animal and had meat for a week, you couldn't just get complacent and comfortable. There'd be another hungry week coming. So your brain adapted to the good times, brought you back to baseline, kept you motivated to keep hunting. This adaptation mechanism ensured your ancestors kept striving, kept surviving. But in modern abundance, it ensures you can never be satisfied. You get the raise. It feels good for 3 weeks. Then it's your new normal. You need a bigger raise to feel that same hit. You get the attractive partner. Amazing for 6 months. Then your brain adapts. Now you need someone more attractive, or novel, or different to feel that same excitement. The biological imperative that kept your ancestors alive is now keeping you perpetually unsatisfied, perpetually chasing, perpetually stuck on a treadmill that speeds up every time you start to catch your breath. You are biologically designed to never feel enough.
Nobody told you this. Nobody gave you the manual. You've been running a race you were designed to lose, wondering why you keep losing.
That's the biological truth, brother. Your brain is working exactly as designed. It's just designed for a world that no longer exists. Chapter 3, the mechanism. So how does this actually trap you? Let me walk you through the psychological mechanism, the machinery of being stuck. It starts with a concept called learned helplessness. There was a famous experiment. Dogs placed in a cage. Given random electric shocks, they couldn't escape. Eventually, even when the cage door was opened, when escape was possible, the dogs just lay there and took the shocks. They'd learned that their actions didn't matter. Sound familiar? You tried. You really did. You put yourself out there. Maybe you started that business, pursued that career, went after that dream, and you got shocked, rejected, failed, humiliated. The world told you no enough times that your brain made a calculation. Trying hurts. Not trying is safer. So you stopped trying. Not all at once. Gradually. One compromise at a time. One dream deferred. One standard lowered. Until here you are, trained like those dogs to just lie there and take it. But here's where it gets insidious. Your brain needs to protect your ego, your sense of self. It can't just admit, I'm too afraid to try. That would be too painful. So it creates a narrative, a story that makes your stuckness make sense. I'm just being realistic. I have responsibilities. It's not the right time. I'm too old, young, broke, busy. These aren't reasons. They're rationalizations. Post hoc justifications for decisions your nervous system already made based on fear and learned helplessness. And because you're intelligent, your rationalizations are sophisticated, convincing. You can spend hours explaining why your situation is uniquely difficult, why your constraints are different, why the normal rules don't apply to you. But underneath all that sophisticated reasoning is a simple truth.
You're afraid.
Then there's the second mechanism. Identity fusion. You've been stuck so long that being stuck has become who you are. It's no longer a temporary state. It's your identity. You're the guy who talks about his potential, the guy who's figuring things out, the guy with the plan that he's definitely going to execute eventually. This identity is comfortable because it protects you from judgment. You can't fail at what you haven't started. You can't be criticized for work you haven't done. You exist in this perpetual state of becoming that never requires you to actually be anything. And your brain loves this. Because actual change, actual transformation, that's terrifying. That threatens your entire sense of self. There's a reason people self-sabotage right before breakthrough. A reason they fall back into old patterns. Right when things start working. Your current identity, even if it's miserable, is known. Safe. Predictable. Change means death. Death of who you've been. and every cell in your body resists that. The third mechanism is the comfort zone itself. Your amygdala, the ancient part of your brain responsible for threat detection. It classifies the world into two categories, familiar and unfamiliar. Familiar equals safe. Unfamiliar equals potential threat. Everything outside your current life patterns triggers this threat response. Even positive changes. Even things you want. Your nervous system doesn't care if it's good for you. It cares if it's familiar. So you stay in the soul-crushing job because it's familiar. The mediocre relationship because it's familiar. The city you hate. The habits that hurt you. The routine that's killing you. All familiar, all classified as safe. By a brain that can't tell the difference between actual danger and simple novelty. You are literally biologically wired to stay stuck. And the final mechanism, this one's elegant in its cruelty, is the sunk cost fallacy. You've already invested so much. 5 years at this company, 10 years in this relationship, 15 years building this version of yourself. Walking away from that feels like admitting those years were wasted. So you keep investing, keep doubling down, keep hoping that if you just give it a little more time, a little more effort, it'll somehow transform into what you hoped it would be. But the truth? Those years are already gone. Every day you stay is another day, on top of the pile. The investment you can't get back gets bigger every single day you refuse to walk away. You're not protecting your investment. You're compounding your loss. This is the mechanism, brother. Learned helplessness convinces you trying doesn't work. Rationalization gives you sophisticated excuses. Identity fusion makes stuck into who you are. The comfort zone makes everything else feel dangerous. And sunk cost fallacy keeps you locked in. 4 walls, 1 cage, no lock. Just you, choosing to stay inside. Chapter 4, the warning signs. Let me tell you about Marcus. He's 34, works in middle management at a tech company. Makes decent money, has a girlfriend he's been with for 6 years. She wants to get married. He keeps saying soon. He's got a gym membership he hasn't used in 8 months, a novel he's been working on for 3 years. That's still just notes and outlines. Every Sunday night, Marcus sits in his apartment and feels this crushing weight on his chest. He tells himself he's lucky. Good job, good girlfriend, stable life. But when he's honest, really honest, he knows he's dying inside. He's built a life that looks good from the outside and feels empty from within. Marcus is stuck. And if you're watching this, some part of his story probably sounds familiar. Here are the warning signs. The symptoms of being stuck that you've been ignoring or explaining away. Warning sign 1, the Sunday evening dread. It's not about Monday. It's about the realization that another week is about to pass, exactly like the last one. Same commute, same meetings, same conversations, same numb routine. And you feel it in your body, this sinking, suffocating sensation that this is your life and it's happening, whether you're present for it or not. Warning sign 2, perpetual planning without execution. You've got notebooks full of plans, bookmarks full of articles. You can articulate exactly what you need to do to change your life. You've done the research, made the lists, set the goals, but you never start, or you start and stop within a week. You're an expert at the theory of change, with zero practice in the reality of it. I've watched men spend 5 years researching how to start a business while staying at the job they hate. 5 years. They could have failed at 3 actual businesses in that time and learned more than all that research ever taught them. Warning sign 3. Your vocabulary is dominated by complaints. Listen to yourself talk. Really listen. How many of your conversations are just complaining disguised as observations? The traffic, the weather, your boss, the government, your family, the way things used to be, the way things should be. Complaining feels like you're doing something. It creates the illusion of agency. At least I can see what's wrong. But it's a trap. It keeps you focused on what you can't control while ignoring what you can. Men who are building don't have time to complain. They're too busy building. Warning sign 4. Exhaustion despite doing nothing meaningful. You're tired all the time. But when you actually look at your day, What did you do? You went to the job that doesn't challenge you. You scrolled for 3 hours. You watched TV. You had the same arguments with the same people about the same things. Nothing you did required real energy. So why are you exhausted? Because suppressing your life force is exhausting. Maintaining the facade is exhausting. Living in constant low-level anxiety about the life you're not living. That's exhausting. You're not tired from doing too much. You're tired from being nothing. Let me tell you about David. David is 41. 2 kids, married for 12 years, works in finance, makes good money. From the outside, he has it all. But David can't remember the last time he felt genuinely excited about anything. He goes through the motions, shows up for his kids' games, but he's not really there. He's in his head thinking about work or scrolling his phone. He has sex with his wife once every 2 weeks, like it's a scheduled maintenance task. He started having this recurring thought, is this it? Is this all there is? David is stuck. But he's the dangerous kind of stuck. The kind that's disguised as success. Warning sign 5, you're successful but not satisfied. You achieved the things, checked the boxes, did what you were supposed to do, and you're still empty. Because you climbed the wrong ladder. You won the wrong game. You optimized for what others told you mattered, instead of what actually matters to you. And now you're trapped by your own success. You can't walk away. There's too much to lose. But you can't stay. It's killing your soul. Warning sign 6. Your browser history is a graveyard of abandoned potential. Leads to places you never book. Business ideas you research but never start. Online courses you buy but never finish. Job postings you look at but never apply to. Your digital footprint is a map of all the lives you're not living. Warning sign 7. You say I'm just being realistic, more than you say I'm going to try. Realism is often just fear. With a sophisticated vocabulary, yes, you have constraints. Yes, there are risks. Yes, it might not work. But when did realistic become synonymous with defeated before you start? The men who built everything you use, everything you admire, everything that works in this world, they weren't realistic. They were delusional enough to try anyway. Warning sign 8. You're waiting for permission from your parents, your partner, your boss, society, the universe. You're waiting for the right time, the right sign, the right circumstances. You're waiting to feel ready, to feel confident, to feel certain. Brother, let me tell you something. You will never feel ready. Certainty is a myth. Permission is not coming. If you're waiting to feel different before you act differently, you'll be waiting until you're dead. These are the warning signs. And if you recognized yourself in 3 or more of them, you're not just stuck. You're decaying. Chapter 5. The social conspiracy. Now here's where this gets dark, because your stuckness isn't just biological. It isn't just psychological. It's systematic, engineered, profitable. Let me show you how modern society is designed to keep you exactly where you are. The education system broke you first. 20 years of your life spent in an institution designed to create compliant workers. Not thinkers, not creators, not independent men, capable of building their own path. You were trained to sit still, raise your hand, wait for permission, follow instructions, regurgitate information, pass tests. Don't question authority. Don't think too critically. Don't cause problems. You learned that creativity gets you in trouble, that independence gets you punished, that the reward for following the rules is more rule. And when you question this, when you say maybe this system is broken, they call you a troublemaker, difficult, ADHD, a problem that needs medication to become compliant. They didn't educate you. They domesticated you. You spent 20 years learning how to be a good employee and 0 years learning how to be a free man. Then came corporate culture. You traded your 20s and 30s, your physical prime, your mental clarity, your energy, for a salary and the promise of security that doesn't exist anymore. You're giving 40 to 60 hours a week to build someone else's dream, while your own dreams collect dust in a journal. You haven't opened in 2 years. And here's the evil genius of it. They keep you comfortable enough that you don't revolt, but stressed enough that you don't have the energy to build anything else. They give you just enough money to afford the distractions that keep you sedated. The streaming subscriptions, the delivery apps, the weekend getaways that you need to recover from the soul-crushing week. You're not living. You're recovering from work so you can go back to work. This is by design. Social media is the new opium. Your attention is the most valuable resource on the planet, and you're giving it away for free to algorithms designed by the smartest engineers in the world with one singular goal: keep you scrolling. They've hacked your dopamine system more efficiently than any drug dealer. And unlike drugs, this one is socially acceptable. Encouraged, even. You can waste 4 hours a day on TikTok, and nobody stages an intervention. You can spend your entire evening watching other people live their lives on YouTube, and people think that's normal. But it's not normal. It's sedation. It's pacification. They keep you distracted enough that you don't notice your life passing by. They keep you comparing yourself to highlight reels, so you feel inadequate, and then they sell you the products that promise to fix that inadequacy. You're not the customer. You're the product. Your attention, your insecurity, your unfulfilled potential. That's what they're monetizing. Consumer capitalism needs you broken. If you were satisfied, you'd stop buying. If you were fulfilled, you'd stop consuming. If you knew your worth, you'd stop trying to purchase it. The entire economy depends on your dissatisfaction. So they sell you solutions that don't solve anything. The car that'll make you successful. The clothes that'll make you attractive. The supplements that'll make you energetic. The courses that'll make you rich. And when those don't work, when you're still empty after the purchase, they sell you the next thing. You're on a hamster wheel of consumption, running faster and faster, getting nowhere, wondering why you're exhausted. But here's the part that'll make you uncomfortable. Modern culture, feminized masculinity. I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about the systematic removal of everything that made men dangerous, capable, and free. You were told that ambition is toxic, that aggression, even controlled, directed aggression toward your goals, is problematic, that competitiveness is unhealthy, that struggle is trauma. You were told to get in touch with your feelings instead of getting in touch with your capacity, to process your emotions instead of processing your reality, to seek safety instead of seeking challenge. They took the masculine virtues that built everything: courage, strength, stoicism, sacrifice, the capacity for controlled violence, and called them toxic. Then they wondered why men are depressed, directionless, and stuck. You can't remove a man's tools and then shame him for not building anything. The participation trophy generation destroyed your hunger. You were told you were special for existing, that trying was the same as achieving, that everyone's a winner. So you never developed the relationship with failure necessary to build real competence. You never built the resilience that comes from losing and getting back up. You never learned that you're not special. You have to become special. And now you're an adult in a world that doesn't care about your participation. It cares about your results. And you're shocked that showing up isn't enough. Here's the conspiracy, brother. They need you comfortable enough that you don't rebel, stressed enough that you don't think, distracted enough that you don't build, insecure enough that you keep consuming, feminized enough that you don't pose a threat. They need you exactly where you are, stuck, scrolling, consuming, complying. A man who's found his purpose, who's building something real, who's physically strong, mentally disciplined, financially independent, and morally grounded. That man is dangerous to every system that depends on your compliance. That's why they don't want you to become him.